Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of High Risk Podcast, a pro wrestling podcast that's by the fans, for the fans. I'm Matt Sharp in the middle of all the chaos, joined by my co-host Noah Sharp and Scott Colley. Guys, how's it going up there?
It's great, it's pretty pleasant. I'm feeling amazing, probably because I got my back cracked, but other than that, I'm good.
I got some of that anger and aggression out already. I had to teach Noah a lesson.
I'm hoping for a peaceful exchange this time around, Nothing,
no promises.
Nothing crazy.
No promises.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, listen here, Scott Colley. I have no idea what's coming.
No, guys. So this week, not a terrible week. Raw was pretty good. It had its ups and downs. SmackDown was there's a lot to talk about over on that side. Some NXT action going on. I want to ask you guys a question when we get to that point in the show. Noah, is there anything going on in New Japan over NJPW? Anything that we should know about?
Kenny Omega is injured, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. We don't know.
Apparently, he's had this problem for a couple years.
Which I kind of figured, because with the matches that he's been putting on, there's no way he's not having some sort of injuries just because of the way of the strong style of wrestling and the crazy bumps that they take on a constant basis. So it's not too surprising, but it is kind of sad to hear. But if there's ever a time for him to take some time off, this is the time, because he's not locked in anything crazy. So it's the best time for him to go ahead and relax a little bit.
Yeah, that's why he's getting that surgery now. I think it was starting to really act up on him on the G1, and then he kind of realized that probably should get it fixed. I guess it's just like a grade 1 tear of his meniscus or something. So, which is, I think Dave Meltzer was saying it's like a 4 to 6 week recovery time. Okay. So it's not like he's missing 6 months.
So that means that the United States Championship stays with him. There's no need to vacate it or anything. Okay.
Nope. He has. I think I heard he's got a. No, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got a title match against Juice Robinson. And
So this is. I think that. So, rumor has it that whenever New Japan was going to come back, they were going to do a show in Chicago, and Kenny was going to drop the belt to Juice. So I don't know if this is just them starting their feud and everything, or if they're going to just go ahead and rush that and put it on somebody who's going to defend it a little bit more, because, he hasn't defended it since he won it. So unless this is a way to put it on somebody who can do some more wrestling, who's not going to be kind of a part-timer, not that Kenny's a part-timer, but just the New Japan schedule is a part-time schedule, so maybe it's just to put a fresh face on it, maybe somebody who can just wrestle more than the big events and whatnot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's wow. We took care of the back end of the show at the front end of the show. Way to change it up.
Well, did anyone make it through the Mae Young Classic yet? I got an episode and a half left this week. I haven't made it through all 4 episodes this week yet.
What was the last one? I think I watched. The 3rd and the 4th episode
from last week.
Yeah, I just finished up the first round.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Noah and I were talking.
Some work to do.
Noah and I were talking earlier while we were waiting on Matt, because he likes to take his time when doing this stuff. I told him that the episodes I have watched seem to be a lot better this week than they were last week. It's kind of to me, they did a 32-woman tournament because they wanted the same as the Cruiserweight Classics, had the same amount of people in it. So they had some girls that were in this tournament that just were not as skilled and aren't ready to put on higher quality matches, if that makes sense. They're pretty basic. So now you've got the more experienced girls going up against each other, they're definitely putting on better matches, in my opinion. They're much more enjoyable the first 2.5 episodes I've watched than they were last week. So
sweet. I mean, hopefully after because I just finished the first round too. So, and that honestly that was tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Some of those are rough matches to get through, but it does get better from here. I will say that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully next time I start up a binge of it, I can just knock it out. So.
Did you guys see Scott? You might have. Well, I guess it was in the first round. I just forgot her name. It's the bigger girl that wore that blue.
Piper Niven.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I enjoyed that match. I thought that was good.
It was okay.
I mean, she does more than Nia Jax.
That's I guess. Well, I mean, I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is I was expecting, because I'm so used to the style that Nia does, which is, I mean, pretty basic. Which I guess works for her. I guess, but so I was expecting something like that. But this chick, she can move and she'd take the bumps and she could,
Mm-hmm.
I think through 2 matches right now, my 2 favorites are Toni Storm and Dakota Kai. Those have been my 2 favorites.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Toni Storm.
I had a feeling you were.
I mean,
no comment, Noah. No comment.
Thumbs up. That's it.
But yeah, Candice LeRae, she's definitely, since she's Johnny Gargano's husband or wife, Johnny Gargano's wife, she's definitely got the crowd behind her. So
yeah.
But I'm still not a Shayna Baszler fan. I mean, she's okay. I guess I think you said it once before, Matt, that you're just not big on that MMA style.
Yeah.
And she used to be an MMA fighter, so that is her whole thing. And I'm just not feeling it with her.
I just think if I was in that position to where I'm known in UFC or MMA or whatever, I would just want something different, and I don't know how much control they have over that, but I would just want to break away from that. I guess I would want that opportunity to be something different and have a chance to be something different than what I've already been doing. I wouldn't want to carry that persona unless you're like Ronda Rousey, who if she came in, okay, that would make sense.
You have to be MMA.
She's Ronda Rousey, but with the other chicks that have done it, the one that's in NXT, Sonya or whatever her name is,
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, I've said it before, but I'm just not a fan. And to me, she doesn't even really have the right kind of build to be the pound for pound, chick that they're making her out to be. So
yeah.
Well, segue, since you talked about Ronda Rousey, they did shoot the segment and aired it on the WWE website. And after, I just said her name, the girl who wrestles, Shayna Baszler. Gosh, after her match, Bayley and Charlotte and Becky Lynch were all ringside, and they were staring each other down because Ronda Rousey and her 4 horsewomen are all there. So, and they on the WWE website they did a thing where there's well, how do you feel about after Shayna's big match? And she talks for a minute, and then everybody but Sasha rolls up, and they do a big stare down. And Ronda's any place, anytime, and so. Now it's just a matter of time until.
Yeah. So this Shayna Baszler, what was her UFC record? Does anybody know? Was she even that good?
She was good until she came to the UFC, and I guess she kind of went on a little bit of a losing streak. She was real good outside of the UFC, but when she came in, I think she went 1-4, maybe 1-3, something like that.
Okay.
So.
Well, UFC fighter there.
You're gonna make me look it up. I don't even remember.
I was kind of hoping you would look it up. That's why I mentioned it.
Is that what you were going with? Okay.
Yeah,
she is 15 and 11 overall.
I mean, could still beat me up. So I mean.
And let's see. She finished her UFC career with 4 straight losses. And yeah, so before that she would have been. She had 4 straight losses, but her one before that she was 15-7 until she came to the UFC. It looks like, and then she went on a losing streak.
Rip.
Yeah, there you go.
So then she's 15-11 now.
That was, and I believe she's retired from.
So she came in at 15-7, retired or whatever at 15-11.
Well,
so she never won in the UFC.
This is according to Wikipedia. So she came into the UFC 15-8. She took a loss with Invicta, which is a separate. I think they're owned by UFC. Excuse me. I think they're owned by UFC now, but that's an all women's fighting promotion, I believe. But I could be wrong. I'm not. I don't know about all this. But then she went to the UFC. She apparently only had 2 fights in the UFC. Lost both of those, and then went to some place in Japan and lost there. So I guess she only had 2 fights in the UFC. But her claim to fame is that she's one of the 4 horsewomen with Ronda Rousey and 2 other girls.
Really, she's just a friend of Ronda's who likes wrestling. That's it.
So
yeah. So well, I mean, I don't know that the backstage or parking lot whatever deal where they had Becky and Charlotte and Bailey step up to Ronda and them. I just wasn't buying that.
No.
Like, it was so like, and then Ronda like she got some work to do as far as being on the mic because nobody said anything. It was just name the time and the place. Like, wait, like what if they were just coming up to say hi? Like,
yeah.
Here you are.
My question is, where was Sasha Banks this night?
This was on like her Instagram or something, or they heard it. No, Meltzer and his like weekly like newsletter and all this stuff. I think he talked about it, but she was out doing like press tours and stuff overseas. Yeah. So, but she could have done it, but I don't know if she has heat or something, but she was forced to do it by like Vince and all that. She was forced to go out and do all this press stuff. So I don't know.
Vince trumps Triple H, so I can see that.
Yeah. Good.
Vince trumps everybody, which we will get to later on in the podcast.
Definitely. Well, with that being said, shall we just jump right into the week that we had of the McMahons?
Do it.
All right, guys. So Monday Night Raw. Not terrible.
No,
it wasn't terrible. It was a pretty good night. Starting off tonight, we had Jason Jordan and John Cena, and this I feel like is what Jason Jordan needed. But it's just funny how like you're right over there, Scott.
Yeah.
It's funny how last week we had Cena and Roman out there, and Cena's like, everybody thinks I have this golden shovel and I bury the talent and blah 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 blah. And then there was all that like, did he decide in the ring to let Shinsuke go over or whatever? So anyway, what I'm getting at is like the one time where like you have the chance to prove that, which, and I get it makes sense for John Cena to go over, especially leading up to the Roman Reigns thing.
There's a fine line for John Cena putting people over. Jason Jordan going or beating John Cena makes 0 sense right now, and nobody would.
Well, no, I get it. I just think it's funny that they would. To me, it's funny. What I'm saying is from a booking point, like you talk about him not bearing talent, and I get it. Like, yeah, it's Jason Jordan and John Cena. Who's gonna win that? And it's still a big deal for Jason Jordan to even get in the ring with John Cena. But then to have him like go up against somebody who he's obviously going to beat because he's John Cena. I don't know. I maybe would have had Jason Jordan go up against somebody else. That's just me. That's my opinion on it. I don't know.
I agree, but the rub that he's going to get from facing Cena, nobody else could have like replicated that. Like they got him going against Finn, now Cena.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty much like you're working your way up, and that's gonna be it.
It's definitely a long way from giving suplexes and doing some crazy mat work to Kurt Hawkins and getting the win in less than a minute.
Exactly.
So is he getting a better crowd reaction yet?
I don't think so. I feel like people are still just. I feel like they recognize, and they're just kind of not behind it. So
I honest to God think it's this Kurt Angle's my dad thing. The more I sit down and think, because it's not that Jason Jordan can't wrestle. It's not that he can't do great stuff in the ring. He's very good. But to me, it's this Kurt Angle's my dad thing. I think that maybe that wasn't the best decision. No. I feel like nowadays it's like, come on, like really, we're supposed to believe this.
Because my thing is, if out of the blue, Jason Jordan was like getting wins together and stuff naturally, and just like I don't know if he just starts winning. And in convincing fashion. I mean, he's a great wrestler. He has no reason to be booed. The only reason is because of this whole, curse my dad thing. So if it was just natural, like he was getting wins left and right, he worked his way up the card, I feel like people would be behind that because they'd see, oh, okay, now they're giving him a chance. And now, whenever they put the whole Kurt's my dad thing, they just see, oh, well, the writers are just doing this. Even though, I mean, it is all about, booking and everything, but now they see, oh, well, this is just what the writers and the bookers are coming together and working on. They don't see it as it being natural.
To me, it's a story that's not even a little bit believable. Like, it's just like, really, you're going to try and pull this one over? Okay, like, whatever. I don't know. To me, it's a storyline that maybe would have worked 10, 15 years ago. Maybe not with her, obviously, but I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just not the time for like my bastard son. I think we've done that before. So anyway, going on through the night again, we're building up to what is it? No Mercy, right? Yeah, No Mercy, because SmackDown has the other one. Okay, I don't.
What's the other one?
Well, I was gonna let you say it later, but if you want, I'll go ahead.
I was curious if you knew what it was.
Yeah, I know. Scott, I don't know if you know this, but every week I'm on this award-winning wrestling podcast, and I talk about wrestling, and I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Ooh. Alrighty.
You got me. Yeah.
Anyway, we're building up to this Cena and Roman Reigns match, and I'm really excited for this one. I wasn't at first. I don't know if it's dream match like caliber, but I mean, if we're gonna take Roman Reigns for how Vince wants him to be, then I guess I get it. But from the way I'm seeing it, it's just not a dream match. It could probably be a really good match. I think it will be, but dream match, I'm not so sure.
I don't know if to me it's not really a dream match. I just need to know who's gonna win this match.
Same.
If that makes sense. It's not necessarily I'm dying to see this match. I really want to know who they're deciding to put over. The guy who they're wanting to take over, or the guy that is taking. Oh, I don't know. The new guy or the old guy? Who's gonna win?
Yeah. It's just weird because, like, if Cena loses, he's put over quite a few people. Shinsuke, he's put over. And if he puts Roman over now, it's almost going to kind of be like, well, is this now John Cena's role in the WWE? Is he going to be taking losses left and right to put over all these guys? Is he pretty much going to be a Randy Orton? Because Randy Orton jobbed out a little bit. By a little bit, I mean 3 months in a row to Jinder Mahal.
It wasn't clean though.
Oh, okay. I mean, but pretty much.
Rusev like 30 seconds.
So is that what we're gonna have 3 months from now? John Cena squash match against Luke Gallows in 30 seconds. Is that what we're gonna get now? Because
I think that John Cena's kind of at the point now that he doesn't need to rebuild up his place in the card, I think it's pretty solidified at this point that regardless of how many matches he's starting to lose, that he's already got his place. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
He's been on top for so long that unless he starts jobbing out to like some lower card guy on NXT, then maybe. But I don't think him losing to Roman Reigns is going to hurt him. I mean, maybe some like lower end guys on the roster. I could see them maybe if he does it like week after week, but I think he's got so much behind him because of how much he's done that it's going to take a lot to bury him, I guess is a good way to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with the whole Cena and Reigns thing, I don't know if No Mercy is going to be a one and done like to end the feud.
I don't think so either.
I think really if we're going to assume that, because there's a lot that could go down between now and Mania, if we're going to assume that they're going to build this to Mania or the Rumble and do Brock versus Roman and Roman gets the title, then it makes sense to have Roman go over against Cena. It makes sense for Roman to be going off of the wins and losses here. It makes sense for Cena or for Roman to go over against the second name in the business, if you're looking at that.
Yeah.
Because Brock and
guys, I got an idea. What if Roman's like on the verge of about to win, and then Cena pulls in the chair? Because all of a sudden it dawns on him, he's like, oh man, maybe I am getting too old for this. And now he has to like start cutting corners in order to beat the big name guys that he would have stomped 2 years ago.
If you're a
new dynamic to his character, something. That,
I mean, that's kind of like a heel Cena. So I'm
not saying necessarily a chair, but he starts doing like some, like maybe he grabs the tights a little bit, or get some leverage on the ropes and nobody sees. So what if he starts starting to do this a little bit?
I don't know. If that does happen.
Oh no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, it does. But if it were to, my reaction would be a very in the moment kind of thing. Because even just thinking about it, I don't know how to feel. I don't know if I feel positively or negatively about it. Yes. It's wild to think that.
Interesting, Scott.
Yeah.
Nice take.
That's never gonna happen, but I would like to. That'd be pretty cool. Just be a different John Cena than we've seen in the past 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. All right, moving on through the night, we had Slater. He's got kids. We got Slater and Rhino, former tag team champions, going up against Shamzaro, as we're going to call him, Sheamus and Cesaro. Mm-hmm. Da, 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 da. And you got Shamzaro going over.
Yeah, if you couldn't call this one from a mile away, then I don't know what you're watching.
Slater and Rhino lost?
Yeah.
Kidding me.
No
way.
Rhino, the ECW icon, and Slater, the guy that's got kids.
He's got kids. How is his kids going to handle this?
They going to be eating.
I get it, like characters go through peaks and valleys and stuff, but I just whenever the WWE take something and make it big, i.e. Heath Slater and Rhino, and then just a few weeks later let them fade back into obscurity, that makes no sense to me. Because Heath Slater was one of those things that kind of like James Ellsworth. There's only so long that it's gonna last. He's not gonna stay as over as he was as long, Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like there was more dynamics with that team that could have been touched on. I don't know. It was a very split thing. But what if it came down to Heath was relying on Rhino to get he was. Let's say that he was his big cast to Enzo Amore. Where he was doing a lot of stuff. Which, in case he was, because that's what a lot of their matches turned out to be. Heath got the hot tag and That's what it was. But just kind of focus on that reliance. Like, I don't know, there's just different like dynamics with that team that could have been touched on that would have made for just as entertaining television with like, the with the tag team championships. Because I mean, if a team like the New Day can get the belt for and break, a record with it, then why can't Heath Slater and Rhino, the same sort of like still a comedy gimmick tag team? Why can't they do the same thing? Because the only thing that gave the New Day their like staple is the fact that they kept winning.
Mm.
So that's how you build.
I mean, on the New Day, they kind of did some turn. They started face, they went heel, and they turned back around. So I mean,
if you talk about like Heath's character alone, he's been around too because he was a heel with the social outcast, and then came back as a face because he's got kids. So I mean, Heath's character alone has had quite a bit of a runaround.
Tag teams to me are one of those. It's kind of like the women's division. They focus on one or two teams at a time, and they just disregard the rest of them.
Yeah, so, it's a shame.
Yeah, I feel like with the whole, they stay hot for a minute and then they kind of fizzle out. I think what made the New Day so great was that they changed, and I know you touched on that just a little bit ago, but that's what made watching them every week kind of do some of the same stuff fine, because 1 week for about 3 weeks or a month and a half they were face, and then they'd go heel, and then they'd go face again. So you kind of, you knew what to expect, but there was an element of, okay, well, it wouldn't be weird for them to change tonight or next week or whatever. So I think that's a crucial part to it. And then we got the Miz Taraj and Maurice, and Jeff Hardy for the IC title. Honestly, I was pretty pleased with this match. Wasn't terrible. Good back and forth. I really liked the transition of the Twist of Fate into the Skull Crushing finale. That was a nice, smooth, transition there. Good counter. Saved up those reversals.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. So
yeah, no, but Jeff gets caught in Skull Crushing finale. Miz goes over, still the champ. I think because it's the Honky Tonk Man, right, that has the record. I think Miz is going to beat it. I think he's
only like 10 days away from it.
I think he's going to. I think he's. I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Got a little bit longer.
But I think he's going to be the guy that is going to be the new staple, the new standard when it comes to the IC title.
I think that's fine because whenever I think of the IC title now, I think of The Miz, and now that he has some credibility to him, even with or without Maurice, his ring skill now has improved leaps and bounds since he last main evented WrestleMania. So he's changed a lot as an in-ring performer. I have no issues with The Miz being IC champ anymore. The only issue I have is whenever they put him with Dean, and that's the only feud that they can think of.
Yeah, I like that he went up against Jeff. It was something different. It was fresh. I would like to see him drop it to somebody eventually, and then go for the Universal. Just to see a universe ran by The Miz. I think that would.
I think it should happen, but I don't. It's another one of those things where you've got people like Finn, Seth, Brock. Like until we get rid of Brock and maybe put Braun Strowman to the side a little bit, because ideally, Braun Strowman versus The Miz, that's a bit of a squash. Because honestly, right now, the main event, division for the Universal Championship is full of nothing but like monsters. Yeah. Like you got Joe, Braun, Brock, Roman. It's just a lot of big guys who can do a lot of damage, and Miz doesn't really fit into that spectrum right now. So until we get people like Finn and Seth, maybe it'd be a little bit more believable then. Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Miz is at 447 days, and the Honky Tonk Man is at 454.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that is the record right?
That is number 3. Number 2 is Don Morocco at 541, and Pedro Morales is at 619.
Well, then I bet you he'll get up there with
619
Morales.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. So is that like total combined?
That is combined days recognized by WWE.
Okay. So not
he'll probably maybe like lose it one more time and then get it back and then like
yeah. Man,
So-
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of relevant topics, the cruiserweight.
Hold on, real quick. He will tie it if he has it through next Thursday. If he holds on to it after this coming up Monday, then he will have the record the following Monday, the 18th. He will be number 3 all time. So
I could see them doing a big shebang about that.
Just to throw it out there, since we talked about it.
Yeah. Okay, on to the cruiserweights. Tony Nese, Noam Dar, and is it Bruce Gallic? Is that the what's his first name?
Drew Gulak?
Oh yeah.
Gulak.
Drew Gulak. Gulak.
Oh yeah, Gulak. Drew Gulak.
Gulak.
Yeah.
Gulak.
Yeah.
Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak.
I don't like him.
I don't like that. That's just a. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus Enzo More, Grand Metalik, and Cedric Alexander.
Metalik.
Yep. I was when Enzo walked out, I was like, oh, is he gonna do like, and this right here, this is Grand Metalik, and here, blah blah blah, and you know, but no, he just talked about himself and then stopped. Wasn't his best performance on the mic, I don't think. But I mean, you know, he's going to he's on 205 Live now.
Yeah,
and he's solidified, as Trips would say, Vince would say. He's going to eat shite and learn to like the taste of it.
Yeah. I guess big news for him. I guess if you watch 205 Live News, guys, can you believe it? If you watch that, then you know that Enzo More is the number 1 contender for Neville's Cruiserweight Championship, which is pretty ridiculous if you ask me.
It is, but I get the business side of it. I understand this is probably like punishment for Enzo for. It's probably a couple things. It's probably Enzo acting the way he has been, or whatever the controversy backstage, and the writers obviously don't want to do anything with him unless it has to do. It's somebody's truck, unless. See,
I heard it last week, and people kept freaking out. So
that was actually because that was during the Get the Red Out, and that was the bombers, the stealth bombers. They flew the stealth bombers over.
Get the red out. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, you won't know what that is unless you're from Warrensburg. But so I get that it's probably punishment, and the writers maybe don't want to do anything with him or don't know what to do with him. But from 205 Live, we've not talked about 205 Live in the history of ever, and now we have something to say about 205 Live because Enzo More is down there. So. Granted, yes, it's still this little piss on title and this piss on show. Arguably, there's some people that like it. Probably.
I want to see you get on Neville's level and tell him that.
I don't think I could stoop that low.
My thing. Oh wow! Dang. See, my thing is like the wrestlers on there are great. It's just the fact that they're there that's like the problem. Cause you know, like they're all good. It's just the fact that, you know, they've got an hour to themselves for complete nonsense.
Yeah. With a crowd that's tired and been there and ready to go home.
Because I don't know if they do it for Raw and SmackDown, but they're still doing main event tapings. They
do them before Raw. They do them before Raw.
That's ridiculous. Now,
we would have saw
we were
one,
talking.
but Scott forgot the tickets. Otherwise, we would have saw one.
Yeah, we could have seen Titus O'Neil fight. Oof.
You know, I don't have a comeback for that because that one was just my fault. I can't really. Hey, shout out to my grandma for being a halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandy.
I don't think she watches this show, so I don't think he's gonna hear it.
Well, we will thank her anyway. But all right, so yeah, Enzo's down there. He's the number one contender. He's a contender for the pointless cruiserweight, the cruiserweight title,
Yeah.
and he'll probably still lose.
I hope so. He better.
Oof.
What if Neville just like smacks him and then hits him with the red arrow in like 30 seconds and end of match?
What they'll probably do is the Hogan Kevin Nash. I think that's who it was.
Yeah.
The infamous
finger poke of doom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the finger poke of doom. And they'll probably pull one of those and.
Enzo goes heel and joins the Neville level.
Yeah, and yeah, once you go that low, that's just where you're at.
No
And
respect.
You can't teach that.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Good thinking there.
All right. We got Finn and Bray. Some more build to this story. Finn had the line of all lines, and if they didn't write it for him and he just said it, then somebody give this guy a push, because he said he said I don't run from my demons because sometimes I become them. Ooh. Oh my gosh!
You were close up on his face.
I don't remember the shot composition.
You always remember this type of stuff. Now all of a sudden, when I need details, you don't have them for me.
I'm sure it was a pretty tight
But
shot.
did they
I'm
like
pretty
zoom in on it? Like it's like real close.
No,
That was a
no,
little close to the face.
no. Yeah, but no. Anyway, build. We're cooking up something. We're throwing in some of that, some of this, that,
So-
that, pinch of this.
So was that? Does that mean that what they're gonna fight again and Bray's gonna go over and we're gonna have a rubber match?
I just think you keep putting Finn over. Just keep.
Technically, this is the rubber match, isn't it? Because
Oh, is it?
Bray won the first match against Finn, and then Finn turned
Oh yeah.
into Bray. So technically,
Yeah, this is it. Okay, yeah, I forgot about the first
you
one.
look at it, if you look at it like Bray Wyatt never lost to Finn Balor. He lost to the Demon.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, the Demon's not on the roster. He just shows up. Like, does the Demon get paid or does Finn? Like, it's a weird thing. Like, Yeah.
What if in a twist of fate? What if like Demon Finn is like him and Demon Kane? They.
We're gonna get a
they're
corporate
like-
Finn.
They're like, oh no.
Yeah, you did that to yourself. Bringing these ideas in here.
They're gonna do something stupid like Federal Finn, like team him up with the Taxman or.
I hate to break it to you, but
IRS, whatever.
currently Corporate Kane is running for mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. So I
I
don't
know.
think
I saw a picture of him in a smart car.
that is
How
Glenn.
in the hell? He had to have been sitting on the back tire. Like, how do you fit Kane in a smart car? Let us know down below how you fit Kane in a smart car. Okay, moving on. We got Bliss and Sasha Banks going up against Nia Jax.
We
and
ever gonna get to SmackDown?
We're getting there. We got three more things, and I'll fly right through them. We got Nia laying the smackdown in the ring, and then Emma making the tag and going in to cover for the win. Nia and Emma go over against Alexa and Sasha.
It's Emma's time.
It's something. It's something. We're not allowed to talk about it though, because we got to get the Scott show.
It's all about me. It's all about me.
We
I'm
got
the champ. Remember?
Yeah, we won't tell the people why you're not holding it. We'll just.
You have no evidence to say why I can't hold it.
I have photographic evidence evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Expose him.
Then we have the Club versus Rollins and Ambrose for it's a non-title match, and gee, wouldn't you know it, Rollins and Ambrose go over the Club. They're on a bit of a streak, and not a good streak. It's a losing one. It's a losing one. All right, the last one. Big Show, Braun Strowman, inside of a cage on top of double reinforced ring steel, making it happen.
It's a great match.
The green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. And so we got the superplex going on. Nothing breaks because it's double reinforced. Big Show, he's going to debut at 405 Live one of these days because we got an elbow from the top rope by the Big Show. They must have double reinforced the ropes because I don't know how they handled it. A really solid match though, especially for somebody like Big Show being as old as he is, doing a match like that, and putting in the work. He wasn't just running into stuff. He was doing.
Guys, you're supposed to put your phone on silent during this thing. I can hear someone's phone vibrating.
Mine's not ringing at all. It's got to be you then.
No,
It
it's
has
not.
to be. You're trying to
phone is
frame
on
us.
silent.
You're trying to frame. My phone's on silent. My phone's on silent.
My phone's on silent.
I don't buy it.
Scott,
My phone is on silent.
in this case, he who smelt it dealt it. So I mean, in this case, Scott, this guy.
No respect for this movie.
So that's Raw. Scott's going to go ahead and tell us about SmackDown. He's been itching to do it. Let's go, Scott.
I don't know
Let's
if I
go.
want to talk about it now because now you guys are making me mad.
This is like law. Like he who smelt it clearly dealt it. So I don't like. Come on.
It's your phone, Scott.
Anyway, so we start off with what was supposed to be the Natalya versus Carmella match. Yeah, no. Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens ain't happy. Calls out Shane McMahon. Tells him he should have died in his helicopter crash. And then says his kids would have been better off if he would have died in a helicopter crash. And Shane did not like that. Big surprise. No one saw that coming. And so Shane beat the crap out of Kevin Owens and threw him over the table. Well, tried to throw him over the table. He kind of landed on top of the table first, and then he rolled over the table. So Daniel Bryan comes out, and I was curious because I thought he was kind of under like the Edge protocol, where if Edge is a part of anything, he's not allowed to have any contact at all. But Daniel Bryan comes running in there, and he kind of gets in the middle of it. So I'm wondering. I know only I could take something about Daniel Bryan between Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens. But so I'm wondering if they're letting him somewhat get involved in contact now, if he's not like on the where they won't let him do anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Any thoughts?
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, guys. Yeah. So come back out later. Daniel Bryan gets a mysterious phone call from somebody, and turns out that somebody, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon will supposedly be on SmackDown Live next week.
Uncle Vinny himself.
And Vince McMahon tells Daniel Bryan to tell Shane McMahon, that's a lot of telling, tell Shane McMahon that he is under suspension indefinitely for touching one of the performers. So,
wow.
Yeah, so.
Can't wait to see them fight in a Hell in a Cell, dude.
I think they should fight in a helicopter.
Whoa.
A helicopter match?
If WCW can do like monster trucks on top of a roof, then why can't we have like a helicopter battle royal? Like
a helicopter battle royal?
Heck yeah. We're going to fly over the clouds.
Helicopters or what?
Dude, you put Kevin in an Apache, you put Shane in an Apache, and you just let them duke it out.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
It's the only way. Hey, Vince would have loved it back in the 90s, okay? Okay?
Yeah, he probably would have came out with a video game of it. We have a video game of wrestlers driving around in monster trucks and blowing each other up. So,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, going back to this TV episode, not about you fighting helicopters. One thing I thought was curious, they had Daniel Bryan come out. He didn't play his music, so I'm like, oh snap! Like they're playing this up and it's super serious because normally, like even whenever he did his retirement speech, they had him come out with his entrance music, you know. So they were like serious about this, and even Shane McMahon came out and didn't have his entrance music. So to me, that they always have people's entrance music unless there's a run-in. So I'm just like, man, they're really trying to play up how serious this is. Any thoughts? No? Yeah? No?
They're very serious, you know.
Agreed.
So, I mean, obviously it was. The storyline is serious because Shane McMahon's not suspended indefinitely. My girl Natty retained her championship. I don't think it was a non-title?
It wasn't a championship match.
So. They beat Carmella. The thing about this match is James Ellsworth dropped the briefcase in the match, so the ref thought it was a cash-in. So then Carmella had to be like, no. And then afterwards, Carmella belittled James Ellsworth and they broke up. But don't worry, guys. They kind of got back together, but not really. And I really wish I was James Ellsworth.
Wow. Okay, dude.
I'm saying I would have liked to kiss Carmella.
He's got that dime on his arm, man. Shoot, so, I ain't mad at you, Scott. I ain't mad at you.
I'll take a slap for a kiss. That's fine.
Fair trade.
I ain't ashamed. Oh, and then
that's what they were like. He was like, "Why don't you kiss me during this?" And she's like, "Yeah, only if you let me slap you." He's like, "Okay."
This reminds me of, I think it was on Facebook, Matt, but you posted a picture about would you rather have WrestleMania tickets or a date with Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to go on a date with Alexa Bliss. You guys
I'm not mad. In all honesty, I probably would too.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys are on your own. Trying to think anything else super crazy. We didn't have any fashion files this week, which is fine because, like I said, they've kind of been a little downhill. But here's something else that was very noteworthy to me. So Dolph Ziggler did his little shindig thing where he was going to re-debut. They missed a prime opportunity to me, too. So first he comes out as John Cena, does a little hat thing. And then he says he's going to do some retro. And I was like, please be Shawn Michaels. Please. Oh, and then I was let down because it was not Shawn Michaels. And it just ruined the rest of the episode for me. So I'm like, you guys missed a prime opportunity for me to make fun of Matt. And then you just did.
What'd they go with?
He
came out as Naomi too, didn't he?
Yeah,
he
did Naomi, Randy Savage, and wasn't there another one?
It was John Cena.
I thought there was another one, but no, I mean,
Dolph
yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
Dolph Ziggler.
Colonel Sanders.
So, yeah, I was a little upset by that because I was really hoping he was going to do a good old Shawn Michaels and do the little, perfect setup. And then they let me down like they tend to do.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, it's super weird. I don't understand what they're doing with him. There wasn't anything else super. Shinsuke beat Randy Orton for #1 contendership for Hell in a Cell. Oh, okay. SmackDown pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell. Quit texting, Matt.
Oh, no. Phone's over here.
Don't buy it. You guys, there's a conspiracy against me. There's a conspiracy against me.
He who smelt it. Dealt it. That's it. But what sounds so
against me.
I think you're just worried about losing that title back there. I think that it's starting to get to you. It's starting to get to you.
Trust nobody.
See, the great thing is that now that we're done with like the big 4 pay-per-views, we have 2 opportunities a month.
Yeah.
To get the belt. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh really? Oh really? Is that why there's only 1 pay-per-view this month?
Oh, well, 2 opportunities, fairly close back to back. You know
every
how
2 weeks. weeks.
Yeah, so
I don't think Raw's doing an October one, are they? Because I think it's just SmackDown Hell in a Cell until Survivor Series.
The point is, brother, is we're coming to get your title, and what you gonna do when the Shark Foundation runs wild on you?
Guys, the biggest competition I had at SummerSlam was a cat who picked her picks based on what treat she liked. That's all I got to say about that.
hey, she has great taste in food. You know, hey, what can I say?
You guys have horrible taste and picks, so it's always.
We were in a bit of a pizza coma, so I mean, I don't know.
Pizza coma. You made the picks like 4 days before the event.
See, we were in the pizza coma. We had no clue what was going on. Like, come on, you know, we had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
But just he who smelt it dealt it.
All right. The Usos are taking on the New Day in a street fight next week in Vegas.
Sweet. I want to see them do Battle in a Hell in a Cell. That would be great. Yeah.
And then AJ Styles next week is doing the U.S. Open Challenge against Ty Dillinger. So we actually have 3 title matches next week.
Nice.
They're playing up being in Las Vegas so big. I don't understand why. I don't get it.
It's Vegas. It's the big
Vegas, baby.
What happened last time they were in Vegas? Chris Jericho's head went through a television.
Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, are you talking about the? Oh no, no.
The Festival of Friendship.
Where real men cried, by the way. Jeez, man.
Disbanding of Jericho.
Jeez, like the great. You talk about some great teams right there. Jericho was like, man, it's too good. Way better than Y2AJ. That's for sure. Way better. Leaps and bounds.
That's a lie. It's a lie.
Whatever.
Anyway, Scott, any Mo on SmackDown?
I mean, not really super noteworthy. They have, I believe they've announced every playable character in 2K18 at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's some names missing. The big one, Aleister Black.
Oof.
He is not on the confirmed list of playable characters, but there is hope with DLC along with them. He has to be.
Guys, I forgot something. So JBL is no longer SmackDown commentating, which I'm
Thank
100%
God.
okay with.
Yes.
And now Corey Graves is on SmackDown. So
Full
I believe
double duty.
SmackDown has the better commentating team.
Well, I mean, he's there anyways because he commentates for 205 Live.
I
So
don't think
like,
he's doing 205 Live anymore. I thought is what I heard though. It's
Yeah.
they're calling up Nigel McGuinness.
Oh,
I guess maybe something like that. They're switching around their commentating tables right now.
I don't know if because I like Nigel. I like Nigel and Morrow on NXT, but I just don't like Percy. So you put him on 205 Live because I won't watch it anyways, and I don't have to hear him. So put Percy on 205 Live.
Well, that's really it about SmackDown right now. Like I said, I'm hella jelly of James Ellsworth. So
You know,
that's my number one takeaway.
She's in the guys that don't have chins, and we have really good chins. So
I don't think I've ever seen Noah's chin.
I've seen it once
Yep.
recently, within the last 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
he
well,
had one, though.
that's really it on SmackDown, guys. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything about SmackDown or Raw. I guess we can go to NXT because we already talked about New Japan.
Yeah.
And we talked about 205 Live because they only had one good thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a good thing. Just
Just, you know,
they
over
had
to
a
the
thing
side.
happen. They had a thing happen.
So with NXT, we got the official goodbye, see you later in the big leagues to Asuka. As you all know, she gave up her belt, relinquished it, did not lose, so she's still undefeated. She just gave it up, and she's moving on. They did, a big spiel for her. They brought everybody in the locker room out. I think Ember Moon gave her like a hug or something. I don't know, but it's a big deal, She's graduated, going to college now. Hopefully, we don't know, which one she's gonna go to, but.
I think she needs to go. I think her beating Nia, if Nia gets the Raw title, her beating Nia would even more put her over the top.
Yeah.
But I would love to see an Asuka and Charlotte match. I think that would just be.
I would
amazing.
be fine with Asuka's first loss being against Charlotte. I just hope they don't do it so soon. I feel like Asuka's loss needs to be at a Big 4 pay-per-view, and it needs to be at SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well,
she's best off staying down at NXT because they actually use her properly down there.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, she's too big, for them not to use. They kind of, they could always decide not to. It's as simple as that. But I feel like she's the John Cena or the Brock Lesnar of the women's division.
Yeah.
Probably more so the Brock, but she's the Brock Lesnar of that division. So I feel like they have to do something with her. They just have to.
Well, the good thing is that they don't have to bring her up immediately. So if they really wanted to, they could keep her out for a few months to really.
I think she's out for 2 months.
I think it's just 2, but they can do it even longer if they want. They could go for an entire 6 months if they really wanted to really flesh everything out to make sure that the writing is solid. But I don't want it to be just a typical call up. I want it to be a big deal that Asuka is on whatever roster she's on, and I just want her to be dominant. I don't want her to just be thrown. I don't want her to win and it just be thrown under the rug. Oh man, she won another match. Oh, she won another match.
Yeah.
No, she is here and she's, whipping people into shape.
What if what happens is, they do a storyline where, let's just say Alexa Bliss just somehow comes on top, because isn't it a Fatal 4-Way at No Mercy now?
Yeah.
Somehow she comes on top on this Fatal 4-Way, and then they do the Nia Jax thing. And then she does that, nobody can beat me type of thing. And then she's like, I'll have an open challenge to anybody who I haven't beaten yet. So that way it rules out anybody that. It would be pretty written on the wall. They could do it. Yeah. But I'm just saying that would be they could do it. They could do it that way. Yeah. So it's kind of a surprise, but it's not really a surprise.
Yeah, I don't want it to be blatant or obvious. I just want her to show up one day and be like, all right, I don't know what you guys have been told, but I'm here and this is my division, so piss off. That's kind of what I want. But
yeah, she just goes in there, just wrecks her in 2 minutes, and then just walks out.
Okay, so if it was not for the belt,
it would be like a glorified squash match.
I'd be fine with that. She came in as a free agent. Just for that one moment in time, and just killed her, walked off, and that's it. She was gone for another few months. That'd be kind of big, because I don't know, they could do the part-time thing with her really well. I feel because again,
I wouldn't do it because
I would do it all the time.
It's so weak as it is now on these shows.
I get it, but I'm not I wouldn't do a Brock schedule where it's once in every 3 months, although he's been ramping it up these past few months. I do it once in every month or month and a half.
No, just because your division is so weak, they don't do anything with them now. If you start taking away the belt, then they literally have no.
But they're gonna. There's no reason to put them on top. Don't give her the belt. Just have her come around, kill somebody, and walk off. She doesn't need the belt to be a big deal. She's already a big deal. she gave up her belt, and she's still a big deal. So
I don't think it'd work.
I think just I'm not saying it's like a permanent thing, but just like for the first few months until they figure out like say she goes to Raw like 1 week, kills somebody, goes to SmackDown the next, destroys somebody, then a few months out, like, oh man, tested the waters on both, and they both seem like trash, step up your game or something. And it's like, all right, I'll come back in a month. That gives you 1 month to find somebody who's like on my level. Goes back, kills that person, goes to SmackDown, bang, got that person too. So then it's just like, then eventually they're gonna get somebody who like this right there,
Matt, do you have any comment on any of this?
What I think that they should do is debut her at the Rumble is what I would do. This is a far-fetched thing, but if they were to do like a women's Royal Rumble of some kind, then have her go out there and then just annihilate and clean house and stuff, and then like maybe I would have her lose, but then I would build the Charlotte and her match from that point, and then at Mania have that match, and it'd be this big spectacle because you got Charlotte in her peacock robe and all done up, and then you got Asuka in her robes and her streamers.
I wouldn't do it at that Mania. I would probably hold it off for the next Mania, like do a 1.5 year build. It used to be a 1 and 3 month build, but
yeah,
because if you do it that quick and then Charlotte beats her there, then it's kind of like it was Asuka's destroyed at that point.
Yeah.
She's pretty much in like an open canvas, so they've got a lot of possibilities with her. She just can't lose.
Yeah, I'm not counting on them. I'm not counting on them to do anything. I don't know how they managed to screw up the Bayley character, but they did that. So at this point, I have no faith in them. Take us home, Matt.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of High Risk. We really appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching. Feel free to weigh in on anything we've said down in the comments below. Let us know how we did. All that good stuff. Noah and Scott are gonna duke it out. There's a lot of tension.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, what?
He who smelt it, dealt it.
There you go, everybody. You heard it from the man himself. So be sure to go to Facebook, check out our page, High Risk, hit the like button, share, all that goodness. Go over to Twitter. You can follow us there at High Risk Podcast. Tweet us. Let us know how we're doing. And then go over to, right here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Follow all of our content. Let us know in the comments below.
The subscribe button is down below.
Oh, great. Now I got to edit that in there. Thanks, Scott.
No, it's right below the video. It's like right below it. It's like there's our name and then there's a subscribe right below that.
What, do you not watch our videos?
God, man, it's like you've never been on YouTube before.
You know what? I just look for the links to copy and paste them. Hey, feel free to take over, guys. Feel free to edit.
Whoa! Hey
now,
now, man. Just
Anyway, guys, while we figure out who's going to edit the shows from here on out, again, feel free to subscribe, share our stuff, help us get ourselves out there. We really want to help get the best content out that we can. We're just 3 wrestling fans who love to sit down and talk about sports entertainment because we love it. We love it so much, and we love each other, don't we, guys? Don't we? And that being said, guys, remember, always tuck your chin.